In this lesson, we're going to look at Functional Setup Manager. After completing this lesson, you should be able to explain the benefits and the key concepts of Oracle Fusion Cloud Functional Setup Manager. You'll know how to enable functional areas and enable opt-in features, manage setup data, set up your data using exports and imports, and explain how to migrate data you set up from test to production. Let's start with an intro to Functional Setup Manager. Functional Setup Manager allows you to do your initial setup and ongoing maintenance. It provides you a guide through the steps to do your planning. So what is it that we want to implement? How to opt in and select the offerings, functional areas, and features that best fit your business needs. How to do the setup and what are the setup tasks, and making sure that they're all done. Deploying, which moves your verified setup data from the test environment to production, and of course the ongoing maintenance and opting in of new features. To perform these features using the Functional Setup Manager, you need to have a role that has the privilege to execute the steps, review the application offerings, review the setup and functional user overview, and the setup and maintenance applications. You will need additional privileges to perform specific setup tasks, generally in your specific area. For additional information on security required for the Functional Setup Manager, you can refer to the security reference for the applications and the common features guide on docs.oracle.com, which you should bookmark that anyway because it has all the documentation out there. The Functional Setup Manager provides you a centralized place to do your setup. So you have one place to go. It has a guided process that offers you a list of guides through the recommended setup tasks. It is very configurable. You can opt in for the functional areas and features that you need. Hopefully this will make it easier to set up your data because it has built-in prerequisites and dependencies, which will eliminate some of that uncertainty when you're doing your setups. There's import and export process to migrate the setup data, and there's comprehensive validation reporting to help you make sure that you have everything set up. The Functional Setup Manager also provides you standardized application configurations and setup, plus flexible process for managing the setup by the different areas. You can adopt as you go approach. If that makes good business sense, you can implement projects to manage exceptions, setup situations, and you can upload functional data in bulk. The offerings are basically the big functional groupings of the application that you may want to use, like financials, order management, product execution, procurement, SCM, product management. The functional areas are the modules within those areas that allow you to do the sub-processes. And then there's features and alternative business methods that you can turn on and use in the functional area. So it goes from the broad down to the specific. As you may know, through your initial process, you'll be opting in, and then each quarter there are things that you can opt into. So you must opt into the relevant offerings and their features by enabling them. You can select the offering by clicking on the icon to see the detailed description. The current status of the offering is going to be shown. In the beginning, the offerings are not going to be enabled. And as you enable things, they will show that they are enabled. On the offerings My Enterprise group, you can click on the opt-in feature and see the offerings page. You can use the opt-in features button, easy for me to say, to opt into a feature or features that are applicable to your business requirements. If you need to change the opt-in configuration of an offering, you can use the same button. Before you proceed to opt in, expand the related document section to review the details about the requirements for implementing that particular offering to help you plan. The first row shows the offering, and the subsequent rows show the offering's functional area. If sub-functional areas exist, then they will be shown underneath the parent. To opt in, select the Enable checkbox. The offering and functional areas will become available to enable. If a child is not optional, then the child is enabled and displayed as read only when the parent is enabled. For example, when supplier invoice processing parent is opted into, the payables child function is enabled. Child functional areas are not optional. They are enabled or disabled automatically when you choose the parent. A child cannot be enabled unless the parent is enabled. For example, collections, customer invoice processing must be enabled first before you enable the collections. And you can also go back and review what you have opted in, and you can click on the Learn More